Hi everyone, my name is Apuraj Garakapati. Welcome to my YouTube channel Amazing Apai. This video is an introduction to the Chinese cultivation story The Divine Urban Physician, and often known in English fan spaces as Urban Medical God. The story follows Yi Chen, a destroyed family's surviving young master who returns after 5 years with medical skills, cultivation power, and the mysterious support of 100 ancient experts. As of the official QQ reading/Kidian listing available while preparing this deck, the novel is still ongoing and is listed at more than 12,878 chapters. This deck is a fan-made story roadmap. The goal is not to retell every scene here, but to help viewers understand the full structure, how the story moves from Earth Revenge, to Kunlunzu, to Lingwu, to the Divine Kingdom, to Reincarnation, Wu Time Space, the Abyss, and the current Ancient Clan campaign. The simplest way to explain the story is this. It begins like an urban revenge and miracle doctor story, then expands into a massive cultivation epic. Yi Chen returns after the family massacre, but every enemy he defeats reveals a stronger world behind the last one. At first, the conflict is personal, family blood debt, hidden killers, and the city's powerful families. Then it becomes martial. Kunlunzu, ancient sects, alchemy towers, and bloodline mysteries. Later, it becomes cosmic. The Reincarnation bloodline, the Lord of Reincarnation, Wu Time Space, abyssal wars, and ancient clans. This is why the story is so long. Each saga changes the size of the battlefield. The viewer should understand that the early chapters are not separate from the later cosmic war. They are the foundation that explains Yi Chen's loyalty, ruthlessness, healing path, and refusal to bow. Here is the full roadmap used in this video series. The classification is fan-made for clarity, because the original novel is a continuous serialization and does not officially divide itself into these exact sagas and arcs. The structure begins with Saga 1, Earth Revenge and the Return of the Presumed Dead Young Master. Saga 2 moves into Kunlunzu and Yi Chen's inheritance. Saga 3 reveals the Blood Spirit Crisis. Sagas 4 and 5 move through Lingwu and the Divine Kingdom. Saga 6 makes the Reincarnation bloodline central. Sagas 7 and 8 expand into the Outer Realm and Heavenly Human Domain. Saga 9 turns the plot into an ancient game of destiny. Saga 10 enters the Dark Forbidden Sea. Saga 11 crosses into Wu Time Space. Saga 12 launches the Darkian Abyss campaign. Saga 13 becomes a Starry Sky War. Saga 14 focuses on the Great Tao and the Abyss. Saga 15 is the current ongoing Ancient Clan campaign. The story opens on Earth, where Yi Chen returns to River City 5 years after the Yi family was destroyed. To ordinary people, he was once a useless young master who vanished after a massacre. But the Yi Chen who returns is no longer weak. He carries terrifying medical skill, martial cultivation, and the mystery of 100 ancient powers connected to the Samsara or Reincarnation graveyard. This saga is the emotional foundation of the story. Revenge, healing, family blood debt, and the first hints that Yi Chen's fate is far bigger than one city. He saves people who others have given up on, humiliates arrogant families, breaks into the martial world of Jiaonan, and slowly discovers that the Yi family massacre was not a random tragedy. By the end of this saga, Yi Chen is no longer just a returning survivor. He has become a rising threat to hidden ancient martial forces, and his search for his father, Yi Tianjiang, pulls him toward Kunlunzu. Before we move ahead, please take a second to like on this video. A like tells me that you enjoyed this topic. Your support helps Amazing Apai grow naturally. Saga 2 moves the story from urban revenge into the larger hidden realm of Kunlunzu. Yi Chen discovers that his family, his master, and the medical god sect are all tied to unresolved humiliation and ancient inheritance. He faces the Kunlunzu Yi family, protects Du and Huiyan, and refuses to let the medical god sect remain a declining sect that anyone can bully. This saga also introduces major power upgrades: Xiao Huang's awakening, Dangsu Tower's alchemy trials, Lin Qingshuan's deeper legacy, and the name Yi Shishan. Yi Chen uses that identity as a mask when he needs to strike fear without exposing the people close to him. The arc becomes more than training. It reveals the Blood Spirit clan's shadow and shows that Kunlunzu's stagnation is part of a much larger system of control. By the end, Yi Chen is not only a fighter, he is an alchemist, a cemetery inheritor, and a man beginning to challenge the structure of the realm itself. Saga 3 turns the story from personal conflict into a realm-level crisis. The Blood Spirit clan is no longer a distant rumor. Their system of sacrifice, fear, and control becomes the main enemy behind Kunlun Zhu's weakness. Yi Chen begins exposing the truth that the strongest cultivators have been raised, hidden, or surrendered under ancient pressure. The battles become larger, involving sects, strongholds, and alliances rather than only family feuds. Yi Chen's role changes again. He is no longer just avenging the medical god sect or protecting friends. He is forcing Kunlun Zhu to decide whether it will keep kneeling or finally resist. The Blood Spirit conflict also prepares the transition into the Lingwu continent. By the end of the saga, Kunlun Zhu's local stage feels too small for Yi Chen's destiny, and the road to higher worlds open. Saga 4 begins with Yi Chen stepping into the Lingwu continent, where the power scale rises sharply. In Kunlun Zhu, Yi Chen had become a nightmare to many sects. In Lingwu, he is again treated as an outsider whose realm and background seem insufficient. That repeated underestimation becomes one of the strongest patterns of the story. He enters conflicts involving hundreds of sects, ancient clans, Ling Yun's palace, special blood zones, and Shen Huo Academy. Each setting tests a different side of Yi Chen: battle instinct, bloodline potential, alchemy, body cultivation, and his willingness to defy authority. The Divine Kingdom begins appearing as a higher pressure over Lingwu, and Yi Chen repeatedly proves that status and realm do not define true strength. This saga is about adaptation. Yi Chen enters a larger world and refuses to let it reduce him to a nameless outsider. Saga 5 raises the story into the Divine Kingdom stage. Yi Chen's enemies are no longer merely sect elders or local geniuses. He faces young monsters backed by great clans, hidden kingdom conflicts, ancient bloodline secrets, and the Divine Kingdom branch of the Yi family. The Reincarnation Star Stone becomes an important clue to his identity and future path. The upper realm begins descending into the plot, showing that the worlds above are not passive observers. They have rules, factions, and plans that affect Yi Chen's survival. This saga is powerful because Yi Chen's identity becomes more dangerous the more it is revealed. His bloodline is not only a source of strength, it is also a beacon that pulls enemies toward him. The story shifts from fighting for survival to understanding the rules of higher powers and learning how to break them. Saga 6 is where the word reincarnation stops being only a mystery and becomes the center of Yi Chen's destiny. The Reincarnation Star Stone, Heavenly Dao Palace, Shu and Jiyu's Shadow, and the title Lord of Reincarnation all pull the story into a huge ancient game. Yi Chen's bloodline begins awakening in a way that threatens forces far beyond the Divine Kingdom. Ren Feifen becomes more important as someone who understands the larger board and the enemies moving pieces across realms. The Divine Kingdom calamity shows that Yi Chen's growth causes consequences for entire regions, not only individuals. This saga feels like the story opening a locked door. Behind that door is the outer realm, where Yi Chen must continue the same pattern: enter a stronger world, get underestimated, survive impossible pressure, and reveal another layer of his identity. Saga 7 expands Yi Chen's battlefield across the outer realm. New territories and sect systems appear, including Moon Soul regions and the Six Paths sect. The Reincarnation Monument War becomes one of the major drivers, because each monument or ancient object is connected to Yi Chen's larger identity and future power. The saga also introduces darker and more mythical forces: ancient demon emperors, supreme heavenly maidens, and rival inheritances that cannot be solved through ordinary battle alone. Yi Chen must manage sect relationships, personal loyalty, hidden enemies, and the pressure of cultivation breakthroughs at the same time. This stage builds toward Taiju Hall, which represents another gate into a more dangerous world. The feeling of the saga is constant motion. Every victory opens a larger battlefield, and every inheritance pulls Yi Chen deeper into cosmic karma. Saga 8 takes Yi Chen into the heavenly human domain, where the atmosphere becomes more conspiratorial and spiritual. Taiju Hall tests him, Demon Extermination Peak pushes him into another conflict zone, and the Heavenly Hall's schemes show that authority in this domain is deeply corrupted. The Shentu family conflict adds personal and political tension, while the battle of ancient bloodlines shows that ancestry and destiny are weapons in this world. One of the biggest emotional and combat developments is the Blood Dragon's return. The Blood Dragon is not just a technique or visual symbol, It represents Yi Chen's growth, rage, and connection to forces that refuse to be chained. This saga is about Yi Chen surviving an entire domain where heaven, bloodline, and conspiracy combine against him. Saga 9 is one of the most important conceptual stages of the story. The plot moves beyond territories and sects into the ancient game of destiny itself. The heart of Earth, 10 great ancestors, ancient emperors' plans, and Hongjin's legacy show that the worlds Yi Chen has crossed are all part of a much older conflict. This is also where the boundary between reality and woo-woo becomes important. Woo-woo is not simply another location. It represents a level of existence outside ordinary rules. Yi Chen's Tao becomes clearer because he cannot rely only on inherited power. He must define what kind of path he walks, what he protects, and what he is willing to destroy. This saga gives the story a philosophical and mythic layer, preparing the audience for the dark forbidden sea and the impossible logic of woo-woo time-space. Saga 10 places Yi Chen inside the dark forbidden sea, a stage filled with ancient danger and suppressed forces. The Old Days Alliance gives the saga a sense of forgotten history returning to the present. Ancient Emperor Yu becomes a major pressure point, while the Iron Throne conflict and Lost Book of Woo-woo reveal that knowledge itself can be a battlefield. The Lich King and Demon Lord elements make this stage feel darker and stranger than earlier realms. Yi Chen is no longer only climbing a hierarchy of cultivation worlds. He is moving toward the edge of reality's rules. The door to woo-woo time-space signals that the story is about to enter territory where normal logic, normal power scaling, and normal life and death boundaries become unstable. Saga 11 takes the story beyond ordinary reality into woo-woo time-space. Here, the rules are different. Power is not measured only by realm names, laws, concepts. Divine Tao and ancient authority become the weapons. Supreme world powers and heavenly emperor families show that Yi Chen is now surrounded by entities with enormous histories and deep calculations. The struggle for Divine Tao is not just a fight for techniques. It is a fight to define what kind of order will rule existence. The starry sky shore gives the saga a cosmic feeling, while the reincarnation camp counterattack shows that Yi Chen's side is finally able to strike back at ancient enemies. The abyss opening at the end of this stage introduces a new darkness that will continue into the next. Before we move ahead, please take a second to share on this video. Sharing helps this video reach friends who may also enjoy anime, gaming, travel, cricket, chess, career basics, or personal stories. Your support helps Amazing Apply grow naturally. Before we move ahead, please take a second to like on this video. A like tells me that you enjoyed this topic. Your support helps Amazing Apply grow naturally. Before we move ahead, please take a second to comment on this video. Your comment is very important because it helps me understand what you want to see next. You can share your thoughts, suggest the next topic, or simply tell me what part you enjoyed the most. Your support helps Amazing Apply grow naturally. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to Amazing Apply. Subscribing makes sure you do not miss the next video, and it gives me motivation to keep improving the quality of every upload. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Saga 12 is shaped by abyssal darkness. The Dark Soul Clan and Tailed Beast powers create a new kind of threat. Enemies that are not only strong, but deeply connected to forbidden and chaotic energies. The Darkian Abyss is not a normal realm. It behaves like a pressure cooker where every mistake can become fatal. The Abyssal Hunt and Dark Forest arcs make the saga feel like a long survival campaign. Yi Chen has to fight, hide, read traps, and discover the truth behind forces that older powers feared. The Heavenly Emperor battlefield then connects the Abyss conflict back to the larger history of supreme beings and ancient wars. By the end, the appearance of a legendary existence makes it clear that Yi Chen is now moving among beings who were once treated almost like myths. Saga 13 feels like the story entering a late-stage war era. Yi Chen's legend returns with greater force, and the Starry Sky bloodline becomes one of the strongest signs that his origin and fate are no longer local mysteries. Heavenly Emperor-level conflicts and ancient Tao battlefields dominate the saga. The enemies now represent systems, eras, and orders rather than isolated villains. This is why the collapse of the old order is such an important arc idea. Yi Chen is not simply defeating one opponent after another. His existence begins breaking rules that ancient powers relied on. This saga is dramatic because it shows the cost of becoming a central figure in destiny. The larger Yi Chen becomes, the more the old world must either reshape itself or try to erase it. Saga 14 is one of the most mythic and late-stage conflict arcs. The Great Tao Contest means that Yi Chen is no longer fighting only for territory, revenge, or survival. He is struggling within the structure of power that defines reality for countless beings. The curse of the ancient gods adds an old karmic burden, while the coordinates of the abyss turn the conflict into a campaign of discovery and invasion. The Sword Demon's inheritance gives Yi Chen another terrifying martial layer, but every inheritance also brings danger and responsibility. The final abyssal gate feels like a threshold. It suggests that all previous abyss-related conflicts were leading toward one larger confrontation. This saga is about entering the deepest war zone while carrying the weight of every identity Yi Chen has gained: Doctor, Avenger, Reincarnation Heir, Warrior, and Breaker of Fate. Saga 15 is the ongoing current campaign. The chapter count has passed 12,800 chapters, and the latest official listing used for this deck shows the novel still serializing. This saga focuses on ancient coordinates, the Void Market, Lost Ancient Clans, the Seven Cold Clan, and the Ice Frost Ancient Python conflict. Because this part is ongoing, it should be presented as the current frontier rather than a completed conclusion. The story is still expanding Yi Chen's connection to ancient clan secrets and unresolved forces beneath the larger reincarnation war. For a video intro, this is the perfect place to remind viewers that the journey is not finished. Earlier sagas can be summarized as completed story blocks, but this saga should be introduced as the living edge of the story, where new chapters continue to update the campaign and the final direction. This intro gives the audience the big map first. After this, the story can be explored in separate videos: detailed saga videos, arc-by-arc explanations, chapter-by-chapter summaries, battle breakdowns, character guides, and power system explanations. That structure is useful because the Divine Urban Physician is extremely long. A viewer who jumps directly into Chapter 9000 or Chapter 12,000 may feel lost unless they first understand the journey from Earth Revenge to Reincarnation War. The final message is simple: this video is the doorway. The deeper videos will cover the sagas, arcs, chapters, battles, characters, powers, and story summaries in detail. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to Amazing Apply. Subscribing makes sure you do not miss the next video, and it gives me motivation to keep improving the quality of every upload. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.